Everybody's so excited about the future. Meanwhile, I'm just really excited for 2016 to be over. Seriously. Hey everybody, welcome to Wright at the Movies. If you're looking for reviews on movies, you've come to the right place. Today I'm talking about Passengers. It stars Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence, and an empty spaceship. They were in their cryopods, they're woken up too early, and now they have to find something to do. No, not that, you pervert. Okay, a little bit of that, but also other stuff. They go to the movies, they go to the bar, they fix up old robots, and they just hang out. And that's kind of the weirdest part about this movie. There's no real antagonist. They just hang out the whole time.
Is he asking me on a date?
She didn't seem that impressed.
There's no real plot pushing them forward. They're just characters in a small space doing what they're gonna do, and I really enjoyed that. Some movies have moments like that, like quiet character moments, and they're some of my favorite parts in movies. Moments like that are why I fall in love with characters like Doc and Marty, or Batman and Robin, or Johnny and Lisa. I sometimes want a whole movie like that, but then I realize that's not really how that works. You can't have a whole movie like that. The characters won't learn anything. The audience won't learn anything. But this movie is jam-packed with moments like that. Yeah, sure, there is a plot in this movie, and things do happen later on, but for the most part, it's just two characters hanging out in space, having like space beers.
You two look fine this evening.
We're on a date.
Very nice.
Took you long enough to ask.
At times it feels like a love letter to classic sci-fi. At times it feels like a love letter to Stanley Kubrick, and at times it feels like an actual love letter. Passengers throws a lot at you. And yeah, sure, there's the technical review of this movie saying that a lot of this is pointless and a lot of it goes nowhere, and there's no real strong, heavy plot. But then there's the personal review saying that these are really fun characters in a really fun setting, and I just liked hanging out with them. I'm saying hang out a lot, aren't I? Sorry. Jennifer Lawrence is always pretty good in movies. I always like her, sometimes more than other times, but in this I really liked her character. She's a really cutting-edge reporter, and she's always asking questions and always thinking outside the box. She's cool, she's funny, she's smart, and she has her own goals outside of what the plot demands. And of course, Chris Pratt. I don't need to say anything new about Chris Pratt, right? He's the new Will Smith. He shows up in movies and people watch them. He shows up, he acts like himself, and people love it. So now we can add this character to his long list of other characters, like Marvel Chris Pratt, and Cowboy Chris Pratt, and Dinosaur Chris Pratt. And of course the two of them have great chemistry. They're gonna need it. They're gonna be together for a really long time. A really, really long time. A really, really, really long time.
Hello? Do you know what's going on? Nobody else is awake.
I think something went wrong with the hibernation pods.
And this movie is shot beautifully with long takes and really wide lenses, really letting the loneliness and the emptiness of the ship sink in. It gets depressing, it gets soul-crushing, and after a while, you start to go on a journey of your own with these characters. What would you do in a situation like this? Would you go nuts? Would you find a hobby? Would it be a bit of both? And then what would you do if there was another person with you?
We woke up too soon. 9 years too soon.
The ship is cold and sterile, and yet also warm and homey, and I really started to like the production design of the ship, and the Tron Legacy, Star Trek, Apple Store style really was awesome. It perfectly bridges the cheesy sci-fi novels that Dad reads and the cheesy romance novels that Mom reads, and makes a perfect date movie. It's fun, it's funny, it's adventurous, it's romantic, and it makes you think. But yeah, the movie does get really loud and crazy and huge at the end. I wanted it to stay more of a quiet character piece, but this is a huge movie with a huge budget, so it has to end with a big popcorn finale.
Something's wrong. Something big.
There's some plot stuff that feels really convenient, and there's a few choices made that I'm still really confused about, like there were some reshoots or something, but all in all, this is a really enjoyable movie. And while it's not perfect and a lot of critics are not reviewing it very well, I myself really enjoyed it. It might end up becoming a big guilty pleasure of mine. It's messy and it feels a little bit rushed, but I had a really good time watching it, and I'm gonna give Passengers 1 thumb up. Did you see Passengers? What did you think? Comment down below. Thanks for watching Wright at the Movies. Please remember to like and subscribe, and you can check out some more reviews right here.
There's a reason we woke up early.